In my last video, Why Travel Solo, I outlined some of the reasons that people choose to travel on their own. Hello, I'm Solo Sue, and my channel is about traveling solo and loving it. Now, I realize not everyone is in the position where they feel comfortable planning and going on a trip by themselves. So today we will look at the top concerns of people who do not have the experience with traveling solo and talk a little bit about how to work through each of those concerns. So our first concern is that I will be lonely or bored. Some people are worried that they won't enjoy traveling by themselves because they won't have anyone to share the experience with. And while it may be true that some people are definitely more comfortable in a crowd, most of us are fine being on our own, at least for a period of time, as long as we're doing something that interests us. And that is why it is so important to make sure to choose a destination for your first outing that you have a really strong interest in exploring. Certainly, if you choose somewhere that you have no interest in, you may focus on being by yourself and get lonely. But if you are somewhere that appeals to you, where there are many activities you can enjoy and places you wanted to see, the likelihood of being lonely is much reduced. Also, a natural extension of being pushed outside of your comfort zone by traveling solo is that you are forced, in a way, to reach out to the people around you and be more outgoing. You can introduce yourself to people and strike up a conversation, and you might even make a new lifelong friend. The second concern is that people will stare at me or in some way belittle me for traveling solo. Now, most places are used to people traveling by themselves. Certainly anywhere that caters to business travelers expects people to be doing things on their own, whether it's dining or participating in activities. There really is rarely a stigma for solo travelers because of this. Now, have I encountered issues before? Certainly, but they are rare. And usually it's a matter of just kind of taking them in stride and not letting them ruffle your feathers, so to speak. I have meals by myself, even in my own hometown, all of the time. Well, or at least I did before COVID. And I really enjoy taking my iPad with me and reading during my meal. The wait staff may be surprised at first, but they will usually help me rearrange the table and make the best use of the real estate so that I can enjoy my meal and enjoy reading at the same time. I do recommend bringing something to occupy yourself with while eating, unless you're really into people watching, of course. Most people have a smartphone these days, and there are endless supplies of apps and games if you're not into reading. And of course, there's always social media to help occupy your mental cycles while you enjoy your food. Our third concern is, what if something goes wrong? And this is really where planning comes in. Yes, especially during COVID, things can go wrong. The trick is to plan as much as possible what you will need if something does go wrong, so you know how you will handle it. Let's start with the beginning of the trip. Say you are planning on taking a cruise, for example, but it starts with a flight to the city where the ship leaves. Okay, think about what could go wrong before you even get to the ship. You could miss your flight. The airline could lose your luggage. Delays in weather could cause you to miss the ship. Now break down what would help in these situations. If you miss your flight, lose your luggage, or miss the ship, having travel insurance would be of great help. You would have one place to call for help, and they could assist you, as it's covered with your policy. So do make sure that you look at the conditions of the policy too. Another good idea for the beginning solo traveler is to use a good travel advisor. They could help you book another flight and arrange to have you meet the ship someplace, or whatever else it is you need for, whatever situation you happen to be in. You can sort of think of them as your personal travel helper. And the best thing is they don't increase your cost of travel. They are paid by the cruise lines, the airlines, the hotels to provide this service for you. Another good plan is to make sure you have a copy of your phone numbers and contact information and travel documents kept in a safe place so that you can access them in case, for instance, your phone is stolen. It is the experience you gain from solving the small problems that you encounter in the course of your travel that give you the confidence to take longer, more exotic trips in the future. Our fourth concern is, what if you get sick? And this is a real concern, especially in a post-COVID world. We all sort of have to make our mental risk assessment when we do anything these days, even just going out to get groceries. And there are definitely some travel options that have a higher risk of getting sick than others. If you are concerned, you will have to make this evaluation for yourself. However, realize you can always get sick, even at home. Being home is not insulation for bad things happening. Again, travel insurance is a good option, and I'd say having a health rider that will get you back home if you become really ill is a must. Apart from that, research what the risks to your health would be for the location you want to visit. Is this a place, for instance, where there's a problem with mosquito-borne illnesses? Make sure you bring bug repellent and that you use it religiously. Is water and food not quite safe to eat or drink at the location? Well, make arrangements to get your food and water from reputable sources. Bottled water should always be safe. And remember to be careful even with iced drinks in certain places if, where you are eating is not exactly a 5-star restaurant. Just kind of things to keep in mind that you want to sort of plan for, because really the more you can plan for contingencies, the more likely it is that you will have the comfort of knowing that yes, something bad happened, but I was able to deal with it because I had made these plans and I had it covered. And doing that again and again is what gives you the confidence to continue traveling by yourself. This is the top concerns that newbies to solo travel tend to have. If you have other concerns that you have thought of, please put them in the comments. I would love to hear from you about whether you have had different things that have made you hesitate to travel solo, and if so, what they are, or if you have been on solo trips, how did you like it? How did it go? Did you encounter problems? How did you solve them? And of course, if you could like this video, if you find it helpful, and subscribe to the channel for more content, I would love it. Solo Sue signing out.